Yeah, so on the subject of fans gathering, I'm a devout Boston United season ticket holder. When the moment is right, when all this pressure is finished and maybe I'm in a quieter phase of my career, I will have a little left deltoid BUFC there for
Boston United
Football Club.
Hello and welcome to the Pilgrim Way, a Football Manager 2022 series here on Boston United FM. We have taken over as the new manager of Boston United in Conference North, but we're using a management model more common across Europe than in the depths of English football. The club have hired Professor Jonathan Van-Tam, or JVT for short, as technical director, and he has brought in Mr. Transfer Genius in as director of football. Transfer Genius has been hired for the second time on this YouTube channel, being the director of football in our Football Manager 2020 series, where Boston United were plunged into the United Counties League, having exchanged places in the pyramid with Boston Town. Mr. Genius brought in players good enough to allow the Pilgrims to reach the Premier League. All transfers will be controlled by Mr. Genius, both in and out. JVT will lend a hand on the medical side with his vast expertise in that department. Myself as the team manager will only be allowed to pick the team, the tactics and the individual player training. With the club having recruited a very competitive set of players already, the aims are to reach the playoffs in Conference North, for which a top 7 place is required, with just one place going up automatically. By the end of the second season, we should have won promotion. Club vision says automatic is required, but I imagine that winning the playoffs would also suffice. Let's take a look at some of the key people at the club. Mr. Transfer Genius is the brains behind the club's recruitment strategy. He is the perfect director of football, which should theoretically mean he can judge where the squad's weaknesses are and bring in the right players at the right time. JVT, Boston's most famous supporter, is now the club's technical director. He'll mainly focus on the medical side, naturally, and hopefully be a good sidekick for the director of football. Having recently signed for the club in real life from the Czech second tier, Milan Laukovic, formerly of Chelsea, Barnsley and Portsmouth, amongst others, will be expected to be our star man this season, and he's comfortable on either wing. An Irish full international, Paul Green is 38 but should be fit enough to have a good season in the centre of midfield. As it stands, I think we'll be looking at a positive 4-2-4. As a highly rated squad at this level, we should be looking to be on the front foot for most games, and this allows us to use the strengths out wide in Laukovic and Fraser Preston. Fraser's brother Jordan will hope to impress up front with Jordan Burrow in pre-season, but other options are Danny Elliott and Jake Wright. To add a bit of confusion, Boston have 2 Jake Wrights in the squad. The other is a central defender. Before I go away and play through pre-season, let's have a quick look at the Conference North season preview. We are apparently second favourites behind AFC Fylde to win the league. I'd expect York City and Kidderminster Harriers to be up there with us, possibly Gateshead and Chorley too. Defender Jake Wright and midfielder Paul Green are currently in the divisional media Dream 11. However, Milan Laukovic, our Slovak winger, is rated as the second best player in the division. It's now time for me to sort out the staff responsibilities and then go through until the start of the season. We'll see which players, if any, Mr. Transfer Genius has brought in for me. There's plenty of room in the wage budget available, so I would expect some movement. Well, pre-season in terms of entertainment value and results and goals has been pretty good. We've played 3 higher division sides in Northampton Town, Notts County and Grimsby, and we've put goals past all of them. The only team we didn't beat in pre-season was Northampton, and that was a 1-1 draw. We finished off the friendlies with a 4-2 win over local rivals Grimsby, and we've played pretty well. The 4-2-4 is looking promising. As you can see on there, we've started every single game with our 4-2-4, mainly with Laukovic on the right, and then basically alternating between Joe Leasley and Fraser Preston on the left. We have got a secondary tactic being trained, which is a 4-1-4-1. That's going to be used potentially in some tough away games, or maybe towards the end of a game if we're winning 1-0, we're under the cosh. It just adds that extra midfielder in there, brings the wingers back, and hopefully lets us keep a clean sheet for the remainder of any games that we use it. We start off the season at home to Blythe Spartans. They are one of the teams fancied to be down the bottom there, getting relegated potentially. So we're expected to win this game. The way pre-season's gone, we should win it easily. But we know in football that pre-season results don't really count for anything, so anything could actually happen. Going through to our team selection today, we're going for Peter Crook in goal. He gets the nod ahead of Sykes Kenworthy. I just think Crook, he's that little bit older, he's more experienced, he's had more games in his career, especially at this level. We'll give him a go for the first couple of months or so. I imagine Sykes Kenworthy will play like FA Cup and FA Trophy games. We'll see how they get on. Sykes Kenworthy's younger, he's got more potential, but we'll see how it pans out. We're going for Matt Tootle on the right and Scott Duxbury on the left. And then in the middle of defence, we've got Luke Shields, the captain, and Jake Wright Sr. In the midfield, it's been a bit of a tough decision between Tom Platt and Paul Green. Paul Green, the 38-year-old, massively experienced, but I think I'm going to trust Platt as this ball-winning midfielder. He plays alongside Shane Byrne, a veteran of Conference North. He's been at Brackley Town for the last few seasons, and he's going straight into our team as a deep line playmaker to spread the ball out wide mostly. And talking of playing out wide, our wingers today are Milan Laukovic on the right-hand side and Fraser Preston on the left. Preston, he's normally more comfortable playing on the right and cutting inside, but because we're playing a 4-2-4, we're going to have to go out there with 2 players playing on the side that their preferred foot is. Up front, we're going for Jordan Burrow as an advanced forward, and he's going to be supported by Jordan Preston, who's Fraser's brother, as a pressing forward on support. It does seem to me from watching pre-season that it's going to be Jordan Burrow plus somebody else. Maybe there's going to be other games where someone like Jake Wright Jr. gets a go up top, or Danny Elliott, he's scored a couple of goals. But for now, we're going to go for Burrow and Preston. There's the lineups. Looking down Blythe's team, I can see one ex-Boston player in Carl Byrne. He only played a couple of games for us, but he's an attacking right back. Toby Lees is someone who used to play on loan for Boston from Harrogate a couple of years ago. And JJ O'Donnell, he's a very good player for this level. Robbie Dale, he's a bit of a stalwart at Blythe. I think he retired once and has come back out of retirement quite recently to play for them this season. I think we've got to show confidence in the players, tell them that we should be winning this game. There's no real reaction, but hopefully we'll get the reaction on the pitch. But the teams are out, so we'll kick off. Got a long throw coming in from Tootle. It's cleared by that first man, but he gets the ball back. The ball goes far post. There is Jordan Burrow on the volley. It seemed to take a bit of a deflection, but no. It's being disallowed for offside. He seemed to have dropped deep at the back, but was a yard too far forward. Now got the ball in the middle of the pitch. Bit of a chipped ball forward, but it's nodded back to the Blythe keeper. We have been playing very, very wide in pre-season, getting the ball out to the right and left, using our wingers. As Lalkovic has picked the ball up quite deep. Tutel, the fullback, he goes past his man, onto Lalkovic, inside to Jordan Preston. His shot is charged down, but Lalkovic is there, but his cross is blocked. Corner kick, Shane Byrne. We've gone for the short corner this time, but it's a very deep cross. Platt picks it up inside to Jake Wright. There's Preston of the Jordan variety inside the area, but it is cleared by Blythe. We come again. There's Byrne. He's made his way back into the centre of the pitch. We're inching our way back forward. Out to this left-hand side. Here's Scott Duxbury. Through ball for Fraser Preston. He gets his cross in towards his brother Jordan, but it's cleared. Now Lalkovic on the right-hand side. The cross comes in. Preston takes it down, deflected and cleared. We're getting towards half-time now. We had a throw-in down the right-hand side. Shane Byrne has picked it up. Exchanges passes with Tutel onto Platt. We're working our way to the left-hand side now back through the middle. Jordan Preston, he's got a lot of the ball. There's Tutel with the shot from the edge of the area, but it's very, very poor. And we do go in at the break 0-0. We've kind of got better as the half's gone on. We started off pretty poorly, didn't really have a shot for a long, long time, until the disallowed goal for offside with Jordan Burrow finding the net, but it being disallowed. I think we just need to tell them to basically book their ideas that we're not played that well. But I think keep going. We can win this if we work as a team. We've got the quality out there. We're inching towards a performance. Hopefully we can pick up at least a goal in the second half and then get the 3 points. Obviously, we'll look to make some changes in the second half. We get to make 3 substitutions from our 5 options on the bench. But it might be a little bit of a waste to do it at half-time when it's 0-0. Lalkovic on the right-hand side gets his cross in, but Lees is there to clear it. Here is Robbie Dale, the old man of the Blythe team. We do win the ball back. Now Lalkovic down that right-hand side. He's supposed to be our best player. It's a great cross for Burrow, but he heads it over the bar. Long goal kick from Blythe. We've had to make a substitution due to injury to Fraser Preston on that left-hand side. We've just brought Joe Leesley on. He's a straight swap. He's really, really good at set pieces. He's either-footed as well, so can take corners with both feet, which could be really useful. Duxbury now into Leesley. Jake Wright picks it up. We're trying to go through Shane Byrne in the middle there. The ball's chipped forward, but it's cleared. To a Blythe player. We come again. Shane Byrne. Shields now with a long ball forward to Preston. Just the one Preston on the pitch now. Now the ball has gone forward for Maguire. They're through on goal, but it's a good save by Peter Crook. And Blythe get a corner. They'd be looking to cause a shock. It comes in, it's cleared. Now, are we going to counter? Lalkovic, he's fouled. And the counter-attack is over. Blythe with a free kick in the centre circle, expertly back-heeled. Here is Robbie Dale on the left-hand side. Blythe now trying to go through the midfield, but Duxbury is there with the interception. Here is Joe Leesley. Ball over the top for Jordan Preston, but the ball's gone back to their goalkeeper, Mitchell. Absolutely hoofs it all the way through, almost into our penalty area. There is Shields, the ball over the top, but it doesn't get past the Blythe defence. Maybe we're going to have to tweak something like that. Maybe we're going to have to stop going for these long, ambitious balls over the top. Here is Maguire with a header, but Crook is there to catch it. We've got a long throw. Keenan Ferguson with it. Goes absolutely nowhere, but he does get the ball back into Shane Byrne inside the area. It's hit Rollins, but I think he was offside. But it went over the bar anyway. A late throw-in. This probably will be the last highlight of the match. It's been a very disappointing game. Only 0-0. The ball goes forward. And the full-time whistle goes. We've drawn at home to Blythe Spartans 0-0. Not happy with that. Have to say we should have won that based on the reputations of the two squads on paper. But in terms of how well we played towards the end of the first half, we just didn't continue it into the second. And that's not good news. Fraser Preston came off 10 minutes into the second half. Okay, we've got a good replacement in Joe Leasley, but Fraser Preston, we're expecting good things from him this season. He's still pretty young. He's 22. Signed from Sheffield Wednesday a season ago, but he's now going to be out for up to 2 months with sprained knee ligaments. Another option in that left wing role could be Samuel Oguntayo. He is the first major signing that our director of football, Mr. Transfer Genius, has made for us. We've signed him on loan from Charlton for the rest of the season. He's comfortable playing at both left back and left wing, but I think more predominantly he's been brought in as cover for Scott Duxbury at left back because we don't really have anybody else. Joe Leasley, that man whose name keeps cropping up, he can also play left back at a push, but it's mainly going to be Scott Duxbury for most of the season. But potentially Samuel Oguntayo might push his way into the side. After that disappointing 0-0 draw, I think we need to go forward possibly a couple of months. We could come back for an early FA Cup game, but I'm just looking at the bottom of the screen there. AFC Fylde, the favourites to win promotion. We're second favourites, whether that's now changed after our 0-0 draw on the opening day of the season. But that's going to be our toughest game of the season. I think we'll come back for that one for episode 2. But if you've enjoyed the content of this episode, please don't forget to leave a like. And for more videos, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.